we'll be talking with Bud Gibson, who is the director of Digital Summer Clinic and the founder of it.
To kick things off, Bud, would you mind introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about your professional experience?
I've been teaching in business schools, starting off at the University of Michigan, 9 years at U of M, 19 years at EMU. That makes 28 years. The funny thing is I started off in college myself as a liberal arts major. I was a French and linguistics double major. And we used to laugh at the business students because we felt like they weren't really doing anything over there. I worked in Morocco. I worked in Saudi Arabia. I worked in Egypt. I lived a lot in the Middle East, North Africa, and also in Europe. I realized, oh my goodness, a business degree would really come in handy here. So I went back and got an MBA at the Wharton School, got a PhD at Carnegie Mellon University about the time the World Wide Web was coming into place. So I thought, wow, this is really a big deal. And so I got into business school and I was saying, this is the new wave, okay? And we need to get on it. The internet was not a fad. And here we are today. It's transformed our lives. Ultimately, I transitioned over to Eastern and we had the opportunity to work on a project with Google where we would teach students about digital marketing and get free use of Google AdWords for nonprofits. We developed a course called the Search Marketing Practicum. We started a workshop. All of that was designed to get students connected with the community and connected with real-world experience that they could use to then wedge their way into jobs. We took that Search Marketing Practicum and turned it into what we're doing today with the Digital Summer Clinic. Courses are still going strong at EMU. The workshop is still going strong. That's me in a nutshell.
How did the idea for Digital Summer Clinic come about, and what inspired you 12 years ago to make it? I know you touched on it a little bit, but if there's anything you kind of wanted to add to it.
I had always been getting asked by companies if I could find a way to get them a student for some kind of internship. What they wanted me to do was actually then mentor that student. I connected up with this guy from Ann Arbor Spark, Bill Mayer, who said, well, why don't you write us a proposal? That worked. And we came along a few years later. We were at 24 students. I was getting kind of interest from the business community. I knew students needed some outlets. So I just kind of found an opportunity.
What do you think is the most valuable skill or lesson that the interns from the Digital Summer Clinic learn? And where do you think that these interns typically apply these skills and values?
One of the skills they get is resilience. Now, if they have resilience already, then they sharpen it. We put these students in with these smaller companies. Smaller companies don't have big management structures and internship programs. The students are kind of thrust in there with a couple of founders. They have to figure out how to make that project a reality. So they have to kind of get in there and they have to pull up their socks and they have to move forward. How to figure out what needs to be done in a situation and then do it effectively. I think the other thing that you have to learn is how to make win-wins. How do you get things to work? I think how do you create a win so that this person who maybe you initially don't understand very well, don't understand their motivations perhaps, you can make something where they stand up and say, oh, they're really contributing. So resilience, win-win, so you can create allies. The opportunity is ultimately in the network, okay, and the impact that you are able to create.
Could you describe one or two success stories interns had in the clinic and why those stories stick with you?
Our success stories, I think, are really about helping people get off the mark towards that really first strong experience. Michelle Carls, who was from the University of Michigan School of Information. Michelle had kind of gone through the pandemic, then gotten a master's degree. We put her with a small company called De Novo Fertility, and she was in there redesigning the website. She worked very well with the team. She was able to translate that into real world impact that the De Novo people were able to understand. And I remember having to encourage her to ask them, well, would you take me on maybe to continue working with you because, we've been successful this summer? Well, they didn't have an opportunity, but the person who had been consulting to them had seen Michelle and thought, wow, she's really good. Now she's working for his uh, private finance company, kind of redoing the websites of the companies he buys. Another example is Nick Woods, who you know is a mentor. Nick was working at a concrete company when I met him as a student. I had to kind of convince him to do the clinic. And he said, okay, I'll give it a shot. He wound up working for his startup for a year, a company called Genomenon. He moved over to the Carrot, which is the digital marketing agency for General Motors, and managed a number of their brands. He ultimately went to work for Google and has been promoted there. And, you know, who knows, new promotions may be in the works. This was somebody who was, you know, basically working his way through school at a concrete company, and kind of got started on a professional path. So that's the kind of success we're trying to generate.
To everybody watching, possibly wants to apply, I highly recommend. Thank you to everybody who joined our digital live.
Yeah, and thank you so much to you, Bud. It was great to have you on. I think I learned something new every time I have a conversation with you. So if that says something about you and your personality, it's a good thing. Don't worry. But yeah, so that was a great way to end up our 2025 Digital Summer Clinic, Digital Summer Lives. Stay tuned for all of our socials for any updates. You should definitely apply. But yeah, see you guys in the fall.